Hello and welcome to another episode of the Contractor Growth Show. My name is Mark, and today I'm talking with James Thornton at Built to Perfection in Tampa, Florida. James, thanks so much for being with us today.
Thank you for having me.
Fantastic, man. It looks like you guys got a great business down in Tampa. And so maybe you could just tell us a little bit about the history of the business, kind of, what you guys have been up to over the years, and then what you guys are up to today.
Okay. We started back in 2017 of April, maybe like April 20 or something like that. And we pretty much started out with like small projects, changing a light fixture here, a paint spot there, drywall hole there. But then we kind of grew a little bit and we started working with GCs, realtors, and a lot of different builders and stuff like that. But now we're pretty much into a lot of remodeling, some new construction, but mostly remodeling. We refurbish a lot of old homes, bring them back to life. We do a lot of bathroom remodels, a lot of kitchen remodels. We're pretty big on drywall as well. And our motto is to make the customer happy. Yeah, that's pretty much.
Nice.
Right.
Love it. So do you like the remodels more than new building? I mean, what's the difference, the dynamic between those two? And do you prefer one or the other? Sounds like maybe remodeling.
Well, actually, I prefer the new construction. The new construction, it's a little more easy because you're starting from scratch. We're remodeling. A lot of people don't understand that it's actually harder to change a smaller board of drywall than it is a full sheet, because you have to match everything that's there. And that's probably the difficulties of it. But I like remodeling because I like the challenge.
Nice.
A lot of historic homes we do, you have to match everything. And if you don't, it's pretty much bad. But
always fun to try to find some moldings of some old classic house, huh?
Yes, definitely.
That they haven't made for 50 years, that particular type of molding.
Yes, it's definitely a headache sometimes, but hey.
Gotcha. Fantastic, man. And does your team fluctuate? I mean, do you work with subcontractors mostly, or do you actually have kind of a full-time team in-house?
I have a team of 2 other guys. However, I work with a lot more companies such as myself, smaller businesses. I prefer working with them because they already have their general liability, their company name and everything like that. And I could just give them a 1099 or something like that. And it saves on the liability on my part. And it also eliminates having to micromanage too much. So, yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I pretty much use the local companies that's around.
Okay, great. And then what is the process? Some people find you guys, some of our listeners are interested in and I'm interested in basic process. And that's basically how you sort of take sales calls, folks that have not reached out to you before, they call Built to Perfection. They say, hey, we want an addition done or we want a remodel done. Would you be willing to just kind of describe your process of how to quote them and then how to kind of start that project? I mean,
right.
How does that all go?
Well, what happens is just say a customer calls or maybe reach out on Facebook or something like that or email us. I reach back to the customer. I ask them get the little details on what kind of project they have, set up a day. We do free estimates. So I come out and I'll take all the measurements and everything, all the necessary notes and stuff like that. And then I'll come back. Typically it's 2 days, 2-day turnaround. You get an estimate, no matter how big the project is. And we give them a quote and we go from there. We do match quotes as long as it matches everything that we said we're going to do.
Interesting. Okay. So if they've got some other quotes from some other folks, that's something you're kind of leading with and saying, look, if you get some other quotes, we'd be willing to match that.
Right.
We'd like to get your business.
Right. And I mean, as far as our customers, how do we get customers? Well, we started out with Home Advisor. It was Home Advisor, and it's an app called Nextdoor. I'm not sure if you're familiar with it. It's like a neighbor app where you could put and I started out pretty much with that. And once we started doing work, it's quality over quantity is our thought, and the quality of the work will speak for itself, and then you'll have word of mouth here, word of mouth there. So now most of my customers are I would say 70% is word of mouth or repeat customers or something like that. But yeah. So, I mean, it's definitely quality over quantity for us. We're not the fastest in certain things, but we are definitely quality is our key.
Very cool. And then what's the different kind of dynamic between referrals and repeat customers? Typically very, very different than someone who's never heard of you guys and maybe finds you on Facebook. It's kind of more selling and more, kind of qualifying and that kind of thing if it's a total stranger. how do
Right.
those, what are those
Well,
different
with total
segments like?
strangers, the main thing is making sure all your paperwork is together. Of course, that's one of the things they always want to make sure you have the general liability and stuff like that. And the other thing is references and pictures. That's pretty much the difference when it's a new customer. But when it's typically a customer that was referred to us, we pretty much get the job automatic. It's not even like we're bidding against anyone else. It's just an automatic.
Uh-huh.
But in some
I love
cases,
that.
yeah, we do have to get like the references and stuff like that and pictures that go along with the project that they're doing.
Do you have any kind of sort of sales packet or whatever that you go out when you're meeting a new prospect that hasn't heard from you guys? I mean, you go out like the first time with those kind of references and thing, or is it sort of like if they ask for that, maybe you'll send them later on? And
Yeah, I just send it to them later on, or give them my Facebook page if they have Facebook. If not, then I'll send them different pictures and stuff like that. No, I don't go out with a package or nothing like that. The thing I go out is with just mainly a tape measure and my notepad.
I love it. Gotcha. So, man, we saw doing some research, and it looks like you have a big family. You got
Yes.
a lot of little ones running around.
Yes, I have 7 kids. I've been married with my wife for 21 years.
Wow.
We actually grew up together in the same neighborhood, everything,
No
and
kidding.
all of our kids, we had them all together. But yeah, 6 girls, 1 boy. Um,
Oh man, amazing.
yeah, yeah, and the kids, they help with some stuff in some of the projects sometimes. My older ones, but
Uh-huh.
for the most part, they don't want to have anything to do with it. My son, he does.
Is that right?
Yeah, he likes to do some of the stuff, but the other girls, nah. As long as I'm handing them a check, that's what.
Yeah, right. They just want the money, but
Right,
Dad just goes and does whatever he does. He just comes home and takes care of us. So that's all we need to know.
right.
That's great, man. I love it.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, I mean, so with 7 kids, amazing. I mean, how do you manage that? I mean, what I'm saying is, with a busy career that you have in building, and you guys are out doing a lot of projects, you've got a couple of employees and you're working with subs and stuff, and also you
Right.
have a big, beautiful family, that have got a lot of needs and stuff. How do you have any thoughts on how to balance kind of having a busy career in construction and having a big family?
Yes, I often wonder that myself. How do I do it? That's a good question, because it's like sometimes I'm here and sometimes I'm there, but it's just like a nonstop process, especially when they have other activities other than school. I schedule everything out, and I'm very strict on my schedule. I try to stick to my schedule. So if I can look at a job and say it's going to take me this long to do, so I'll manage that and make sure I'm done within that hour, and then I'll go and have to go pick up my kids if I have to, or go to one of the games or something like that. I'll work around the schedule. I'll make it work some kind of way. It's a daily process on how it's going to work out. So
Yeah, right. I'll bet. That's a lot of different ideas about what's supposed to be happening on a daily basis.
right, yeah,
Wild. So, man, Haley, talked to you and she said it's going to be a great call. You're gonna have with James. She said, he's kind of a beautiful dude, and he's got some really cool kind of philosophies on business. She told me about a quote that you had told her, and that is, "Each one teach one, then we can all reach one."
right.
It says that maybe came from high school. I mean, what does that quote mean to you? Each one teach one, then we can all reach one.
Well, it means to me is like the old saying, iron sharpen iron. Our coach used to tell us that when we played football, and basically, if I'm more knowledgeable in a position than the next man, I'm not going to put the next man down. I'm going to show him and teach him what I know. And then once he see what I know, it pretty much makes the weight lighter for everybody else, So each one teach one is what he used to tell us. But I added then we all could reach one, because in anything we do, any kind of job, any kind of whatever, it doesn't matter. When I worked at McDonald's, I learned how to be a better person with customer service when I was younger. You see what I'm saying? And it doesn't matter what you do in life. And I took that and I learned how to operate in business, dealing with people, diversity, stuff like that. So I teach my kids the same thing. Each one teach one. And if I'm teaching you, just for example, like if I give you an idea and you take that idea to somebody else, and it's, it's a process, and everybody starts following that process, then, boom, we all are learning off of one branch. Well, off of one tree, and we're all branching out in a sense. Yeah.
That is awesome, man. And then you've got an informal apprentice, someone who, maybe informally kind of works with you, but interestingly, your goal is actually for him to go out on his own, not just to teach him and have him, necessarily be with you for 20 years.
Right.
Especially
I have a young guy. My wife teaches. well, she taught him in her school, whatever. And
Okay.
he was 16 when he started working with me, and he's 18 now. And he still works with me. He has another job, but he still works with me here and there. But what I'm doing is I'm just teaching them how to continue to learn the different trades and how to like operate in the business on his own, because it's not, my goal is to never have nobody work for me forever. Well, I don't even say they work for me, work with me, you know,
Sure.
because no one really works for anyone. You actually working for yourself and your family, no matter what.
Right.
No. but I mean, he's learning, and eventually the goal is for him to go off on his own and start his own thing. It's just the same concept, each one teach one, you know. It's like the Bible says, if you teach a man how to fish, he'll eat forever. You know what I mean? So yeah,
that's beautiful. And then is it true that one of your goals is to actually eventually have like a trades training school?
yes, definitely.
Tell me about that, man.
Well, we kind of do it a little bit now. It's not nothing certified or anything like that, but like we do it with our kids that we coach. We teach the young guys how to change oil. We teach them how to change brakes. We teach them how to change a pipe and stuff like that, faucets and stuff in the house. Just typical stuff that a man should know how to do around the house when he's home, whatever. And then we also have some that come out and we teach them how to do like vinyl flooring, because that's one of the easiest things to learn, you know. But the first step is teaching them how to read a tape measure. But yeah, our goal is to definitely have a trade school in the end where people are learning how to do the trade.
That is amazing. That is so cool. Guys, if you're listening to this episode and there's any way that you can help James, you know, with this project, please get in touch with him, because I mean, that's just such an awesome future goal. Regarding kind of the business that you guys are doing now, I mean, are you, you know, we talk to folks at different kind of levels, and some are kind of in growth mode, some are kind of really the stable place. You're like, we're just good where we're at right now. I've got, you know, a few guys and that works well. Where would you be along those lines? I mean, are you guys looking at growing Built to Perfection here, you know, 10, 20% more per year? Or is it kind of like, no, where it's at's really good and stable?
We're actually still growing.
Okay.
It's always room for growth. We're never satisfied where we're at. Let's just put it that way. So yes, we're definitely moving forward to try to grow the company more. The ways we go about doing that is going to different seminars with different businesses and companies like that, you know, to have the little meet and greet sessions and stuff like that, build up the network for say. But yeah, definitely want to grow. We're still growing. We'll probably never get to a point where we say we're done.
Fantastic. Well, very cool. James, if folks are in the Tampa area, or if they're even around the country and they want to talk to you about, you know, some ideas, maybe, you know, they're thinking about starting trade school, or got some ideas on how, you know, they could participate or help, or you know, be a part of that in any way. If folks want to get in touch with you guys, what are a couple of great ways to get in touch with Built to Perfection?
You can reach me by email, phone number. You can even mail me if you want. But
I love it. What's a good email address for you?
It's jt9383@icloud.com.
Okay. All right. And then did you say phone number? Phone's a good way to reach out to you as well?
Yes, it's 813-784-1676.
Okay, fantastic. So guys, if you listen to this, you know, whether you're a builder and want to learn more about what Built to Perfection's up to down in Tampa, or if you're a homeowner looking for a remodel or an addition done on your house, a historic house, you know, these guys, you know, James and the team are great at doing restorations of, sounds like, of historic properties.
Yes.
Yeah, get in touch. His email is jt9383@icloud.com, or give a call to 813-784-1676. Fantastic. Well, James, thank you so much for being here on the show today. It's been super informative. You know, Haley said it was going to be a great episode, and I agree. Really appreciate you being available to learn some stuff from me today.
Thank you for having us, Mark. Thank you.
Okay. Great talking to you, man. Wish you the best for the business.
You have a good one.
All right.